They say once you taste human flesh, something ancient, something hungry, takes hold. It doesn't just live inside you, it becomes you. And in the frozen forest of the north, they call it the Wendigo. In the far reaches of the northern United States and Canada, the winters are long, dark, and merciless. Snow swallows the horizon. The trees creak in the wind like bones under strain. Food can be scarce. Isolation can gnaw at the mind. For the Cree, Ojibwe, Innu, and other First Nations of the region, these were not just physical dangers. They were spiritual ones as well. The Wendigo is one of their most chilling warnings. A spirit of insatiable hunger, taking the shape of a tall, emaciated figure. Skin stretched tight over bone, eyes burning with a terrible need. In some stories, antlers pierce the sky above its head, or the skull of a beast replaces its face. It is said you can become one in two ways: by resorting to cannibalism in a time of famine, or by giving yourself over to greed until nothing human remains. And once transformed, the Wendigo's hunger never ends. With every bite, it grows. Among the Cree, elders told the story during the coldest nights, when the wind moaned through the trees and the world outside felt endless. Among the Ojibwe, it was a cautionary tale not only about hunger, but about losing one's place in the community. For the Innu, the Wendigo was a force that could strip a person's soul clean away. These weren't just monster stories. They were survival stories, passed across generations. Some early fur traders wrote of hearing locals warn each other not to travel alone after dark. There were whispers of trappers abandoning their camps after hearing strange, inhuman cries echo through the timber. A few claimed to see figures moving against the snow, impossibly thin, yet impossibly fast. One old tale tells of a hunter who went missing during a deep freeze. When searchers found his camp, the fire was still burning, but the snow around it was churned with strange footprints, too long and narrow to be human. They followed the trail until it simply stopped in the middle of a frozen lake, the ice unbroken. Some say the man was taken by the Wendigo, lured into the storm by a voice that wasn't his own. In the late 19th century, whispers of something called Wendigo psychosis began to circulate. People convinced they were becoming this creature, terrified of their own hunger. Most of these stories stayed in the shadows. But in the winter of 1878, the Wendigo stepped into the world of recorded history. Swift Runner was a Cree trapper, a man known and respected in his community. That winter, he and his family were isolated in a cabin deep in the woods. The cold was relentless. The snow piled high against the walls. Yet when spring thaw came, the scene inside the cabin was unspeakable. Bones, remains, signs of cannibalism. Swift Runner was taken into custody, where he claimed the Wendigo spirit had possessed him, forcing him to kill and eat his family. Witnesses describe his calm demeanor, his insistence that something otherworldly had taken hold. His trial drew curious crowds, some horrified, others grimly fascinated. He was executed soon after, but in the minds of many, the case proved what they had always feared. The Wendigo was real. Even today, some claim to see it. In northern Ontario, a hunter reported losing sight of his partner in a sudden blizzard, only to hear his partner's voice calling from the wrong direction, a place no footprints led. In Minnesota, a camper found massive, human-like tracks frozen in ice, vanishing halfway across a lake. And in remote Manitoba, an old snowmobiler swears he saw a gaunt figure watching from the tree line, unmoving, as his engine failed. The legend has seeped into modern imagination, shaping stories told around campfires and whispered warnings to travelers. For some, it remains a living presence, a reminder that hunger, whether of the body or the spirit, can consume everything. Spirit, sickness, or something still walking the frozen nights. If the wind ever whispers your name in the darkness, pray. It's only the wind.